Chris Hemsworth is back as Thor in Avengers Doomsday for another round of thunder. There's only one catch: he might actually die. And it's not just a rumor. Insiders are teasing a heroic send-off, a shocking resurrection, and a future that reshapes the entire MCU. Today, we're breaking down the leaks, the comic storyline that could inspire his death, the rise of the Thor Corps, and why Secret Wars might launch a whole new Thor legacy. These updates come straight from the Cosmic Circus, Marvel insiders and exec interviews, real sources, real patterns. If you want to stay ahead of Marvel's biggest twists, hit the like button and subscribe. It seriously helps the channel and keeps these deep dives coming. Welcome to Screen Scramble. Let's dive in. Thor returns, but at what cost? Marvel didn't waste any time when they kicked off the cast reveal for Avengers Doomsday. The very first name they confirmed was Chris Hemsworth, and that spoke volumes. After Thor Love and Thunder received mixed reactions, many fans assumed his arc might be winding down. But Marvel clearly has unfinished business with the God of Thunder. This isn't just about a cameo or background appearance. Everything we're hearing suggests Thor will play a major role in the upcoming Avengers films. And according to sources close to the Cosmic Circus, Thor isn't just in the movie, he's central to the entire storyline. It also signals something bigger. Marvel is strategically using Thor to bridge the gap between the original Avengers and whatever comes next. He's the connective tissue between the MCU's early phases and its multiversal future. While Iron Man and Captain America were the emotional core of the Infinity Saga, Thor might be the emotional key to this next phase, and that's a heavy mantle to carry. The LOKI reunion that changes everything. Lizzie Hill, editor-in-chief at the Cosmic Circus, dropped a major hint during a recent Q&A session. From what we've heard, Thor will reunite with Loki at some point during these films, and he'll essentially be one of the last OG Avengers remaining. Our friend Alex Perez did hear a rumor that Marvel wanted to give Chris Hemsworth's Thor a proper send-off in these movies in an epic way, with sources pointing to New Avengers Volume 3, number 32, as the inspiration. Although it could be the end of Chris Hemsworth's Thor at that very moment, that doesn't exclude the possibility of the character's return, as he has also been told the Thor Corps, as well as other parts of Thor's mythology from the comics, will be adapted for Secret Wars and beyond. Think about what that means. After all the heartbreak, betrayals, multiverse madness, these two might finally meet again, face to face. This isn't just fan service. If true, this reunion could be emotional closure for both characters, and it might set the stage for Thor's final stand. It would be poetic. After losing Loki again and again, this could be the moment they fight together one last time. And let's not forget, Loki's entire journey has been about self-discovery, identity, and finally becoming more than a villain. If this is the variant from the Disney Plus series, his return could be a major turning point for both the character and the multiverse. The God of Mischief is no longer the same man Thor once knew, and that emotional contrast might be exactly what gives this reunion its weight. A death worthy of a god. Here's where it gets intense. Marvel insiders are pointing to New Avengers Volume 3, number 32 as inspiration for Thor's arc. In that comic, Thor teams up with Hyperion to take on the Beyonders. Knowing it's a suicide mission, they vow to race each other to Valhalla. But there's a twist. Thor can't lift his hammer until the moment he realizes he's finally regained his worthiness. And with that, he laughs and charges into death. It's the kind of ending that hits hard, not just because it's epic, but because it's personal. Thor's entire journey has revolved around the question of worthiness. If Marvel mirrors that arc, it would be a powerful way to send him off. And it adds thematic weight to the MCU's evolving narrative. We've seen heroes win by surviving, by outsmarting the odds, or by pulling off impossible victories. But sometimes, winning means letting go. And if Thor knows his sacrifice can save the multiverse, or Loki, or the future of the Avengers, that kind of ending becomes more than tragic. It becomes necessary. Valhalla is just the beginning. In the MCU, death doesn't mean what it used to, especially when gods are involved. We've already seen Jane Foster's mighty Thor ascend to Valhalla after her death in Love and Thunder. And in the comics, she comes back, not as Thor, but as a Valkyrie. That opens the door for Thor's own resurrection, or transformation. So if Thor does fall in Doomsday, it may be a setup for something even more mythic, a rebirth, a return, or maybe a cosmic promotion. And there's precedent for this. In Norse mythology, mythology and in the comics, death is often a transition. Odin didn't simply die, he became part of the cosmic fabric. The same could be in store for Thor. Imagine a future where he returns not as a warrior, but as a guide, appearing to others across timelines from within Valhalla. His death could allow him to transcend his physical form and re-emerge as a mythic presence across the multiverse. Enter the Thor Corps. According to multiple sources, Marvel is actively exploring elements of Thor's deeper mythology, especially the Thor Corps. If you're not familiar, this isn't just a bunch of Thors swinging hammers. It's an elite group of Thor variants from across the multiverse, brought together to serve as cosmic enforcers. It's the perfect concept to explore in Secret Wars, where multiversal collisions are the entire premise, and it gives Marvel a way to feature Thor even if Chris Hemsworth's mainline version sacrifices himself. This also paves the way for long-rumored fan-favorite Beta Ray Bill, who's been teased for years. His introduction would instantly change the cosmic landscape of the MCU, and fans are more than ready, but it doesn't stop there. The Thor Corps could allow Marvel to experiment with tone, visuals, and personalities. Imagine a thunder god from a dystopian world, or a Thor raised in Wakanda, or even a future version with Odin-like wisdom. Each variant adds texture and depth to the character, and sets the stage for stories that stretch far beyond Earth. Marvel's stance on reboots and what it means for Thor. There's been a lot of speculation that Secret Wars could be a reboot moment for the MCU. Some fans think it's a clean slate, but Marvel may have other plans. Brad Winderbaum, Marvel Studios VP and a potential successor to Kevin Feige, publicly said that reboots are a very difficult thing to do to a living, breathing fictional universe to just start from scratch because of all of the fan investment and love for the stories that have come so far. Starting over would be challenging given the existing fan base and the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if Marvel's top brass aren't interested in hard resets, it means Thor might not be recast at all. Hemsworth is still relatively young, he's expressed interest in continuing, and if Marvel believes in character continuity, he could still be our Thor beyond Secret Wars. It also hints at something bigger. Marvel may be treating characters like Thor the same way they treat legacy comic titles. Arcs may end, but the identity lives on. Rather than erase the past, Marvel might simply evolve it, layering new versions on top of old ones, while honoring everything that came before. Thor 5 and the Mutant Saga. Let's talk future. Rumors of Thor 5 have been circulating for over 2 years, and one name keeps popping up: George Miller. Yes, the mastermind behind Mad Max Fury Road. If Marvel actually locks him in, we could be looking at a darker, more grounded, and brutal version of the Thor mythology. The rumored plot: Thor evolves into the All-Father figure, essentially becoming the new Odin. That would allow him to train the next generation of cosmic heroes, like Beta Ray Bill, or even Hercules. And remember, Thor doesn't have to be front and center. He could step into a mentor role, guiding new Avengers through the chaos of the mutant saga and beyond. Think Nick Fury, but wielding Mjolnir. There's also an opportunity here for Thor 5 to connect directly to future X-Men or Fantastic Four crossovers. With the cosmic scale expanding and characters like Silver Surfer, Galactus, and Kang in play, Thor could be the link between grounded heroes and the divine forces now entering the MCU. Death and return. Here's the reality. Avengers Doomsday might claim several major heroes. Anthony Mackie, who plays Captain America, already teased that no one is safe, and the movie ends in a major cliffhanger. But just because a character dies doesn't mean they're gone, especially in the multiverse, especially in Valhalla, especially when Marvel's next 2 phases are built around alternate realities and cosmic resurrection. So don't be surprised if Thor goes down in a blaze of glory, only to return even more powerful, wiser, and not quite the Thor we knew. That's Marvel's playbook now: sacrifice, resurrection, evolution, and if that happens, it could create one of the most legendary full circle arcs in the MCU. A hero who began as a reckless prince, fell from grace, found humility, faced loss, regained honor, and finally ascended to something even greater than godhood. It would cement Thor as not just a cornerstone of the Avengers, but a mythic legend for the next generation of Marvel storytelling. Thor's arc is building towards something massive. Whether it's a noble death, a multiversal transformation, or a new beginning as All-Father, one thing is clear: Chris Hemsworth's time as Thor isn't ending quietly. He might fall in Doomsday, rise in Secret Wars, and pass the torch in Thor 5. Or He might surprise everyone and become more central than ever before, because in the MCU, gods don't retire, they evolve. So, what do you think? Should Thor sacrifice himself in Avengers Doomsday, or live on to lead the next cosmic era? Drop your theories in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying these Marvel deep dives and want to stay ahead of every leak, twist, and multiversal shakeup, hit that subscribe button. Join the channel and unlock the future of the MCU, one breakdown at a time. And until next time, scrambled out.